Hidden fortunes are more common than people realize, and banks, governments, and even the cryptocurrency world quietly profit from them. For years, forgotten inheritances and ghost accounts have vanished into obscurity, impacting inflation and generational wealth as they go unclaimed. While some people pay the price for this lost wealth through rising inflation, others benefit from the billions locked away in silent accounts. And it's not just traditional banks. Vanished crypto keys and lost digital fortunes add to the mystery, making this a hidden crisis with real consequences. Despite the vast sums of unclaimed money, there's little incentive for institutions to inform potential heirs, leaving ordinary people unaware of the inheritances that could change their lives. This is the secret world of lost wealth, a shocking revelation about how vanishing fortunes are affecting the economy and your future. After more than 30 years as a banker, I've seen countless accounts fall into obscurity. Savings, investments, and inheritances that the intended recipients never even knew existed. Many people would be shocked to learn how often money is left behind without a word, sometimes accumulating for years before finally disappearing from active circulation. This isn't just an isolated issue, it's a widespread hidden phenomenon that silently affects our economy and, in ways few realize, impacting inflation and generational wealth. For decades, banks and governments have remained silent on this, often because they gain from these forgotten funds. It's time to pull back the curtain and explore how this unseen financial activity reverberates through traditional banking and cryptocurrency alike, shaping the future for generations to come. When people leave money to others without notifying them, it often results in unclaimed funds within the financial system. These funds can sit in bank accounts, investments, or other financial vehicles, and when they go unclaimed, they eventually become escheated, meaning the government claims them under unclaimed property laws after a set period. Here's a detailed look at the phenomenon, its impact on inflation, and the similarities it has with lost cryptocurrency. The first question is, how do unclaimed monetary funds end up in the financial system? Well, as it turns out, many individuals don't notify beneficiaries of inheritances, either due to oversight, secrecy, or assuming they'll handle it later. When these individuals pass, beneficiaries may be unaware of their entitlement. Banks, insurance companies, and investment firms may try to contact heirs, but if these efforts fail, the assets become dormant. The next consideration we need to take in are the mathematics of disappearing money. Let's say in a given year, the amount of unclaimed money, U, is 0.5% of the total monetary assets, M, held in banks. In a financial system with $1 trillion, this represents $5 billion that's removed from circulation as it sits dormant. Over several years, this percentage grows as more accounts go unclaimed, removing substantial sums from active circulation. In turn, this has a substantial impact on inflation. But how? Well, when money is removed from circulation, it reduces the effective supply of money. Inflation typically occurs when there's too much money chasing too few goods. But if unclaimed money doesn't circulate, it can have a deflationary impact, although marginally, since this money is essentially out of the economy. For example, if the velocity of money, how fast money changes hands, is 2, and $5 billion goes unclaimed, then theoretically, $10 billion in transactional volume is removed from the economy. This subtle reduction might slow inflation, as there is slightly less money pursuing goods and services. Now here is where things really get interesting. Let's talk about the government's role and incentives to not notify beneficiaries of their inheritances. When money becomes dormant and is escheated to the government, states gain access to these funds. Since this unclaimed money can be used for public projects or held as a form of revenue, governments might lack incentive to rigorously inform individuals. Alerting every potential beneficiary would involve extensive administrative costs without a direct benefit to the government. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, there is a silent parallel phenomenon that is currently ongoing, something the media won't tell you about. In the cryptocurrency world, this issue is even more pronounced because cryptocurrency is pseudonymous, decentralized, and often lacks institutional oversight. With a finite supply of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, this phenomenon is far more compound. Bitcoin, for example, has a capped supply of 21 million coins. As people die without passing along their private keys, those coins are effectively lost forever. Considering the mathematics of lost cryptocurrency, this could lead to a hyperinflationary scenario for the cryptocurrency markets. For example, assume that 4% of Bitcoin's total supply has been lost forever due to forgotten passwords or deceased owners without known keys. This equates to 840,000 bitcoins. If Bitcoin's market value is $30,000 per coin, then approximately 25.2 billion is effectively removed from circulation. In a finite system, this lost money has a deflationary impact, which can actually increase the value of remaining coins. In another example, assume that with less Bitcoin in circulation, scarcity increases. If Bitcoin's demand remains constant or grows, the value of remaining coins rises due to the deflationary effect. So what are the true inflationary consequences of lost cryptocurrency? Inflation within the cryptocurrency world operates differently from traditional currencies. The loss of crypto funds can have a deflationary effect because it reduces the effective supply. However, if people expect future currency losses, like with deceased owners, it may create artificial scarcity, fueling speculative price increases and impacting price stability. In both traditional finance and cryptocurrency, lost funds due to unclaimed inheritances or forgotten access effectively shrink the active money supply, having a deflationary impact in finite supply systems. In traditional finance, governments have little motivation to notify individuals because they benefit from unclaimed funds. In cryptocurrency, the deflationary effect is even more pronounced, as the system lacks mechanisms to recover lost assets, further constraining an already finite supply. For future generations, the phenomenon of unclaimed inheritances in both traditional finance and cryptocurrency will likely contribute to a more polarized wealth distribution. In traditional finance, as unclaimed funds accumulate in government reserves, this wealth is effectively locked away, potentially widening the gap between individuals with access to inherited wealth and those without. Meanwhile, in the cryptocurrency world, the permanent loss of coins will continue to drive scarcity, likely elevating the value of remaining assets. This could benefit the few who hold large quantities, but make it increasingly difficult for newer participants to afford significant stakes. In both systems, future generations face a financial landscape where the value of assets may be artificially influenced by funds lost to inactivity or irretrievable accounts. As a result, policymakers and innovators may need to find solutions to address the inefficiencies and generational inequalities introduced by lost or dormant wealth, especially as these systems become more integral to the global economy.